welcome to Newswatch Online TV News Hour. I am Marian Amaria Bangura. Please do not forget to subscribe to our news and current affairs channel. On the 29th May 2020, nearly 8 weeks after Sierra Leone recorded its first COVID-19 case, the Think Africa Institute started a short survey to explore how the pandemic might affect farmers and food supply chain system. Think Africa has done the survey and released the report to the media. Director of Think Africa, Simon Tiski Sose, speaks more on the report's findings.
Basically, we're looking at COVID, how COVID is impacting on farmers and the possibility of how it will also impact the food supply, the food chain of the food value system. So we wanted first to look at prices. Some people did something quite interesting around that. So we decided to look at not just the prices now, but to just focus on the farmers who are the producers of what we eat. And so we chose 4 or 5 districts. We did Bo, Kenema, Makeni, and I think Freetown district and Freetown urban, Freetown rural. We found out some quite interesting things in that survey. For instance, we found out, for instance, that the majority of farmers are not planning to farm bigger than they had done the year before. We also found out that a lot of our farmers do not have seeds to plant. And also, people are not farming. We want to assume that in the first month or so of the COVID, there have been inter-district lockdown, etc. We've seen the food has gotten rotten and everything. The farmers were not making their money, and therefore they were not encouraged to invest more money, or do not have the money they had put in to do another set of farm again. So we've seen people reduce their farm. Majority of the farmers are wanting to farm less than one acre of land. So these are some of the concerns, and obviously all of these things go to have a certain impact on how much food we get in a few months from now.
Most civilizations and cultures around the world involve from and around agriculture. Agriculture is vitally important for food, of course, but also for raw materials used in other industries such as textile, sugar for candies, cosmetic, vegetable oil, and tobacco. In Sierra Leone, agriculture is one of the main priorities of government donors and international partners.
Yourself go to attest to the fact, say, the President, His Excellency, retired Dr. Julius Maada Bio say, we for attain food self-sufficiency. We're not supposed for import rest in this country. So we inculcate the idea of we being involved into rice production. Not only for left the farmers them for cultivate, but we for they as a front soldiers for ensure say we practice good agronomic practices and also contribute.
First of all, I want to thank you for tracing this very important news. Of course, it's not all journalists can go deep into that community waterlogged area to get real facts for the general public. Of course, the work you saw there was as the result of having the new minister, which Honorable Minister Dennis K. Vandi, by having instituted the COVID response and the deployment of Vietnamese, and again his letter he wrote to the various districts councils in the country that each council must do a district farm, and among those plots you saw 3 of which was district council farm together with Ministry of Agriculture.
On the 29th of April 2020, to commemorate the country's Independence Day, the Sierra Leone Correctional Service released inmates who were pardoned by the President and a committee of advisors.
As you see, the first person will get released, and hope say instead they go now to inform them, we see them as in they in queue, they're happy men, and then they go. So then people them has changed people. A very old, fairly old man, and then people they go home. Some people come on at the provinces where they end up serve their terms in a year. But now
nationwide, we are about to release about 135 inmates. All the correctional centers in the country, we have inmates who are going to be released today. We are doing simultaneous. Whilst we are releasing those are here for Freetown Bay Correctional Center. At the same time, Kenba is doing theirs, the Magboka is doing theirs, just name them, they are doing theirs. But this comprises of inmates of Freetown Bay Correctional Center, at the same time, the reintegration center. They are about 19 in number. At the same time, please take note of that. Along the line, we have 2 inmates. When the committee met again, they discussed issues on these inmates. Because they are sentenced to the murder, the cases are being reviewed. Thereafter, they are being dragged down to life imprisonment.
But they are first of all, the correctional service officer them for the job where they don't do. I congratulate them because they don't correct people and then bring a whole list of people them to the committee, say that they were we feel say don't rehabilitate. So then don't do their own job where them we put an eye for do. Then come, they look now, then talk to her, then mentor her, and say, okay, you know, don't fit for go back in the society before the term where they give you now for there. So then give you that list there, we go through the list, government goes through it, we present them to His Excellency. His Excellency said, look, for a period of time, they select, he say, okay, agree, they where you now go, let them go release them. I want to congratulate you now, Sesef, for the effort where you now make, for behaving yourself, for being role model inmates or people that were in a correctional system, this correctional system and service. Because of your behavior, because of the way you behave yourself, what you know they do, the officer then say, they were then they behave, they said they do well. They're not ready, they don't change their mind for go. So that change of mind, the way you be, the way you show to the officer there. I hope say not to become the wall and the fence, make that way. I hope say you don't see, say, no, this is not a place for me. I get better life. I want to do better things for me, safe. Because at the end of the day, now for you, safe, and your family.
Let's go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a place where you will have fresh poultry eggs? Well, your worries are over. Reef Poultry Eggs is here to satisfy you. Visit us at 28 Charlotte Street, Freetown, or call 079-368959. We do wholesale, retail and home delivery service. Reef Poultry Eggs, your place to be.
Welcome back. You're still watching Newswatch Online TV News Hour with me, Marian Amaria Bangura. Please do not forget to subscribe to our News and Current Affairs channel. The Native Consortium and Research Center filed a court action against King's Production Limited on behalf of 70 employees who were laid off or made redundant. Native Consortium and Research Center held a press conference on Wednesday, the 22nd of July 2020, to announce the court filings against King's Production and Taiwan Memory Masters. Daniel Piwa explained the basics for the press conference.
In the labor industry, continue to suffer silently in the hands of not only employers but also many stakeholders in society to whom we look up for protection and by extension guidance. Therefore, whenever we feel aggrieved, being responsible citizens, we cannot resort to violence. We cannot resort to hooliganism. Like I said, being responsible citizens and a responsible civil society organization under the directorship of Mr. Edmond Abu Jr., which I believe most of you are acquainted with, will explore every avenue diplomatically to ensure that those grievances are brought to the fore of the public.
Edmond Abu Jr., the executive director of the Native Consortium, spoke about the center's court filings.
As you all know, the Native Consortium, we are a guardian of economic justice. We've done this dispassionately for the past 20 years. We've filed 16 cases, we've not lost any case in the last 20 years. The reason why we intervene is because, like, if we can take a cue again from what Mr. Beo was saying, is for us as, young people, you need to use the necessary channel. There is no space for violence. You use the necessary remedies to seek justice. I know the redress mechanism is a bit porous, but I trust the current Chief Justice, and I think we are seeing some amount of justice. So, we decided to bring this thing to the press.
Redundant employees from the two companies talk their grievances and complaints.
Before you give that money, they go meet with union boss. The boss say, not going to challenge that case. They let him try how he go try. Now he say they can't meet with. He can't meet with. We tell and say we want money. Now he can fool with all kind of promises. They say they begin giving loan because we not be even get better medical facility, loan facility, nothing.
In the claim say in not to public utility, not to IT farm, in the EPR, it gets waiting the talk. Labor is say no, it's an IT farm and so forth. So in the say, they pay the public utility when they will fall on that because of the dollar, say will pay that one day. So that was the argument between the and fire and get for.
So that man they we off because of we don't work with until it don't grow to the level that it don't count standard machine then. We they will contain better workers again. And whether they make it, we get a chance now the people the way we make it get a chance. But before ever at the count of that, we said this year starts. Now from the time we government puts on that minimum wage to 500,000 for the least worker. So that money get the good mind, it can't tell me say, well, it not go able to pay that money day. So that money they will reduce that for 300,000.
I am Mariana Maria Bangura, and you're watching Newswatch Online Television. In order to help the government plan properly and ensure equitable distribution of resources and foster economic and social development, the government has decided to conduct a mid-term population and housing census in December 2020.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, in order to help us plan properly, ensure equitable distribution of resources, and foster economic and social development, government has decided to conduct a mid-term population and housing census across the country this year. Data from this mid-term population and housing census will undoubtedly inform and guide the implementation of various development programs, including the 2019-2023 Mid-Term National Development Plan and the Sustainable Development Goals. Equally, statistical indicators derived from the census will show progress made and challenges to be addressed in the overall development of the country. Therefore, the conduct of this census and results emanating from it should be treated with the utmost sincerity and professionalism. Given this background, I now hereby order that a mid-term population and housing census of all inhabitants of Sierra Leone commence on the 4th day of December 2020.
That's all we have in today's episode of Newswatch Online TV News Hour. Please do not forget to subscribe to our News and Current Affairs channel and follow us on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram accounts, Newswatch Online TV SL. Thanks for watching, viewers. Till next episode, I've been your presenter, Marian Amaria Bangura.